Hi guys, it's Maya here. I owe you guys an update. It's been a few days and a lot has happened in those few days, so I will catch you up real quick. I keep making these updates in the bathroom because it's the best lighting, and yeah, I keep looking like this because I'm not feeling too great. By no means horrible, but I'm not feeling 100%, so this is just the way it is right now. So I told you that we had 35 eggs retrieved, 34 of which were mature. And on day 1, when we got the fertilization report on Thursday, after my Wednesday retrieval, we had 28 fertilized eggs. And because of the number of eggs that we had, we went ahead and decided that we'd do a 5-day transfer if it went through, because I was at risk for OHSS. I have developed OHSS, but it's mild. It's not severe. I am not in any kind of danger. I was pretty miserable Friday and Saturday because I was very swollen. I'm still quite swollen. I don't know if you'll be able to tell. This is, for my standards, quite swollen, and it's very hard and it's very uncomfortable, and I have pockets of fluid in my abdomen. They did an ultrasound on Saturday, and I have several pockets of fluid that measure 6 by 8 centimeters, and so yeah, it shouldn't be there, and it is, and your organs all are being annoyed by that fluid. And Thursday was okay. That's when I made the video, but then Friday and Saturday it was very difficult, like to get up, and I was also having a little bit of gastritis, so I had a burning feeling in my stomach, and that's because your stomach is also being pressured, and your gastric acid is being pressured higher than it normally is, so you start having like heartburn all the time. So I had that, and I was walking very slowly, and I still am. It still takes a little bit to like get up and straighten up and walk, and I can't walk very fast because everything jumbles in my tummy. But they drew blood on Friday, and my blood panel came back normal. My kidneys are working fine, my liver's working fine, my hematocrit levels were normal. I'm not having any difficulty breathing. I had a little bit of a lower blood pressure, which also explained why I'm feeling a little bit weak, but it's nothing to be really concerned about. Just you need to take it easy. Your body's dealing with a lot. So because the tests came back like that, and after my checkup on Saturday, everything was doing well enough for us to go ahead with the transfer. So we did do the transfer yesterday morning at 11:30 in the morning, and we had one single embryo transferred. It was a 5-day transfer. It was a blastocyst. The experience itself wasn't a blast, but we had a blastocyst put back, and it had the best grading that you can have. It was a 4AA grading, so they grade them on 4 things. The nucleus and the outer shell and all these things, they have 4 things. So if all 4 things are at A, which is the A being the highest, that's what they picked. So I told you that we had 28 embryos on day 1, and we saw a picture, and on the picture you had number 27 written, so it was embryo number 27 that they put back. And unfortunately, I get into that later, but I don't have a picture with me. But it looks beautiful, and they did the transfer, and it was a bit uncomfortable, but I had good advice here from Irish Baby Dreams about not going with a super full bladder already from home, because you do have to wait, and that was golden advice. I just started drinking. We live close to the hospital, so I started drinking about 11. I was supposed to be there at 11:30, and because of the OHSS, I've been drinking a lot, so I know at what tempo my bladder gets full these days, so I knew it'd be good. And then the actual transfer was around noon, so my bladder was nice and full, and the transfer went down really well. Unfortunately, it was with the doctor in the practice that we don't really like. But what you gonna do? He's not very personable, and on a personal level, we do not like the guy. But he's a good physician. He does his job. So okay, we got in there, and he had this weird headset on, and he was communicating. He didn't tell us this, we just figured it out later. That's how he was communicating with the lab. So you went into a room, and in the room you had like the chair where I was supposed to sit. And so they told me to undress. I hate that there wasn't like a place for me to undress privately, which I know is just the illusion of privacy, because 2 minutes later I'm like with my legs wide open on the chair for the world to see, but still. So okay, I sat on the chair, and then the doctor got the catheter, and he was so basically, let's say that the chair was here, there was a wall, and on the other side of the same wall it's the lab. So he just opened like a little door, communicating door. It's actually a little window, and they gave him the embryos, and they communicated, and he said, he repeated my information, so we knew that it was the right embryo. And then the transfer goes really quickly. They do an ultrasound at the same time, a regular one on your tummy, and there was a nurse helping, so the doctor was busy with the catheter, and he inserted, and you can see it in the screen how that goes down, and you see the catheter going through. And the speculum part, that was the most uncomfortable part. I can't say that I felt the catheter, it was quite okay. And I have a retroverted uterus, so I was thinking that maybe that was going to be a little bit more uncomfortable, but I can't say that it was. Yeah, so then you see the catheter in the screen, and you see your uterus, and the doctor doesn't really explain things to you, but the nurse had the wisdom to take us through the process. So she showed us in the screen where we were at, and then you see it, and then you see little white bubbles kind of where my uterus is, and then he says, okay, now that was air, and now you're going to see a little bit of liquid, and that was it, that was the embryo, and then it's done. And then he gave the catheter and like all the equipment back to the lab, and they check it to see that it's good and empty, so that they know that the embryo has been transferred. And then here they don't have a policy where you have to lay down for a half hour or an hour or whatever. They've done studies here that that's what the doctors say, and we couldn't really argue. The doctor said, okay, you can get up and get dressed, we're done. So I didn't get to like lay down or anything, but they swear to me that it won't make a difference. So I did spend the rest of my day laying down, and today I've spent quite a bit of time on the couch, but like I am walking around, and I'm not keeping full bed rest for 3 days. I'm going a bit nuts. I'm getting cabin fever. I've been home for almost a week, and the doctors have written me a note for work up until this week. So this whole week I have to stay home and rest because of the OHSS. There is a chance that the cysts that I now have, the follicles that are now, the empty follicles that are now full of fluid and are now cysts, can rupture. We need to keep an eye on. I have to keep it really, really, really quiet. Also, I have nothing to wear, so other than these 2 pants that I bought, that still are kind of roomy, but see, can you tell how swollen I am? Yeah, so other than these 2 pants that I bought right before the retrieval, I have nothing else to wear, like for bottoms. So what would I wear to work, and what will I continue to be wearing to work is beyond me. But okay, we'll cross that bridge when we get to it. And then, yeah, so out of the 28 embryos that we originally had on day 1, 15 made it to day 5, more or less 15. And that's going to be frozen, and we will be using those in the future. If this weren't to work the first time around, then we'd use it again, and to further grow our family. That's what we're going to do. So we do want to have at least 3 kids, maybe 4. So I don't know, is this ridiculous for me to hope that this is it for stims? I really hope so, because actually the retrieval was fine, and the transfer was fine, but the OHSS and all that's been not so much fun. But I can't really complain in the sense that I'm an over-responder, and my doctors really followed me really, really close this time, but I just respond really well to these drugs. So this is all good news. I have an embryo in me at the moment. Hopefully it's digging in and setting up camp for the next 9 months. So thank you so much for watching, guys, and I will still make a play-by-play for the retrieval for those of you who are interested. And if not, just for me, because I really don't want to forget. Thank you for watching.